How can I tell what RAM will fit my computer? If I want to add more RAM to my computer, how can I buy something compatible? What kinds are there? How do I determine which kind my computer will accept and how much I can add?
You can use a system scanner from Crucial to analyze the memory that is present and recommend upgrades.
Although CPU-Z focuses on processors, it also provides detailed info about the RAM for the current computer. Run it and note down the details in the memory and SPD tabs and use that to determine what sort of RAM your system supports. Note it is Windows only. The CPU-Z SPD, Serial Presence Detect, tab shows you what RAM is currently installed in your computer. Most, all, motherboards support one DDR version only, DDR, DDR2, DDR3 etc., so you know you will need to buy RAM of the same DDR version. Each slot in the drop-down corresponds to a physical slot on the MB, may be empty. You can normally install various sized RAM modules such as 256 MB, 512 MB, 1024 MB, 2048 MB in each slot. However, total maximum RAM supported varies by motherboard. Also, a 32-bit OS such as Windows XP will only be able to utilize up to 4 GB of RAM, regardless of how much you install.
You can either look up your motherboard manual online or use a system information tool. Speccy from Perform and AIDA 32/64, which was previously Everest. These programs will tell you what size, speed/frequency and specification of RAM you have. Recent machines will typically have DDR2 or DDR3 RAM, and can come in various shapes, sizes and form factors. RAM for laptops and micro machines is a smaller size of board. From Wikipedia, top, DDR2 with heat spreader. Middle, DDR2 without heat spreader, laptop DDR2, bottom, old, desktop DDR, laptop PC 100. RAM for servers does pretty much the same, although it has a feature called ECC, which is error checking code, which checks the data to ensure data integrity. Again, this is only used in servers and you would need to buy ECC RAM for a desktop board. Regarding capacity, I don't really know if it's better to have 1x4 GB or 2x2 GB, or 2x8 or 4x4 GB. I suspect it could be more is better, enabling the RAM to work Togdare. One final thing, especially when you're building your own machine, make sure your RAM isn't too big. My RAM sits in slots 2 and 4 because the heat sinks on my Corsair RAM make it 2-bit to fit under my CPU heat sink, which means I'll have to buy smaller but identically spec'd modules if I wanted to buy any more. Heat Part Picker is very good for comparing RAM specs and prices.
Just my 2 cents as a Linux user. You can run MIDI code to get information about your hardware. By default it gives a long output. To get information about memory, one can do. As you can see, my laptop has a physical memory array, that is has a max capacity of 8 GB, it has two devices, the first slot is empty, the second has a 1333 MHz DDR3, 4096 MB module installed. And BTW, I just bought another one that is also 1333 MHz DDR3 4 GB and going to install it now.